the road right now, and this is kind of the front northwest corner of the property, and I'm right here, and there's a road that goes in, actually right here. The road winds in here into where there's a little camp. Just going to show you what this looks like in here. It's all wide open timber. Okay, so behind me is the road, and off the road we've got wide open clear timber. This is coming in off the road. I never hunt this. Yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. There's some leaks up. And I'll just stop the video and take one just a little further in, keep the amount of minutes down. Still just coming in the main laneway. There are a few openings in through here, and somebody tried to work them up with the plow. I'll show you those in a second. So this is a section where somebody must have tried to work this up with a plow, and the ground is very shallow and turned a whole bunch of stones up here. I've never tried to plant anything in here. Yeah, you can just kind of see the garage, the camp in through here. So this is looking back out towards the road. I'm in that same little clearing that's looking to the other end of the clearing from where I took that picture. This is looking west, looking towards the west property boundary. I can show you where that is on here. So right now we are just at the end of this little section right down here on the map. This is this kind of clearing right here. We're just kind of near the end here. I'll show you a little section around this corner where still moving west, where I had started to hinge cut a bit to try to make a bit of a bedding area in here. So in here, this kind of, you can see these are some, there's no screening cover, but there's kind of some higher hinge cuts. There's some deer hair in some of these areas in here where they had been bedded down. But anyways, it kind of goes like this, and it's not really intense hinge cutting, a few sections, but this way up. So if I show you on the map, so basically this area, basically it right in here on the map has been hinge cut a bit. This is my westerly property boundary. The idea was to create some bedding that was in proximity to this food in here. This is destination food plot. This is this long strip again, and then if we're looking kind of to the southeast now, poking through here. There's a bit of an opening here that you could probably plant some food in. I don't know. Again, I guess it would be, looks like someone has tried to run a plow through here. There's a few ruts. And this is in towards where my camp is. Okay, so this is what it looks like just in around the camp. I don't use the camp in hunting season. I don't stay in it. Poor things. Not in good shape. When I bought the place, it wasn't in good shape. Anyways, pretty heavy canopied woods all through here. Garage. Okay, so we'll try to get in the black fly season here. Gonna kill my son here. Okay, so we're gonna make our way up through into the main destination food plot here. Okay, so this is just coming out. This isn't, I've never planted anything in here, but you certainly could. I mean, I've kind of plucked around at a few stones and stuff. On the map, we're kind of looking south now, and on the map, we basically just entered this clearing right here. We just come through, we're just standing right in here. So all this open area here, and we're gonna meander on through here over to the main destination food plot, going this way. Okay, we'll just keep going this way. Okay. So in behind this section down in here is where I'd done some more hinge cutting. That's kind of the same area as back this way where I showed you that first little bit of hinge cutting. It's all along kind of towards the west boundary from here. And the idea was to create some bedding in there. It was in proximity to this destination food plot, which is just up and through here. This is kind of a little bit of a peninsula of spruce trees right here with kind of some open field area that goes around it. I've never tinkered around with planting that. This is kind of some heavier spruce and stuff back and through here. Not a lot of hardwood. So this is the destination food plot in here. Okay, so this is looking back. This is basically looking kind of northeast. That's the far end of the plot here. There's an old box blind here. I don't use it. There's usually a lot of scrapes along the outside of this field here. There's some here. But I've done a little bit of hinge cutting in through here just to create a better movement trail back towards the tree line there with those cedars. Just to try to get a bit of a trail between those cedars and these few hardwoods in here. But there's a trail, again, I'm looking west now. There's kind of an old 2-track trail that went through here, and there's quite a bit of deer movement. Hinge cut a little bit up along this slope, but not really intensely. Yeah, just didn't have a really good plan, unfortunately, when I was doing this. But I'll walk you through here, just kind of so this is a pretty major scrape here every year. A nice vertical hanging licking branch here. But yeah, so there's a few, I've done some hinge cutting along here and done some hinge cutting up. This kind of goes uphill here. This is kind of the biggest rise right around here, and I tried to put some bedding up above this. So yeah, I tried to make a few trails that exit this, kind of move along the side of this food plot here. And this is one such trail that goes up here. I tried to follow the trees away from the trail, and yeah, there's one here, and actually there's another one back where we just came from. But yeah, this is kind of a trail that moves around here. You can see some hinge cutting. It kind of pokes through here, and there's some, I'll just show you around. Yeah, so it kind of just pokes in through there along the edge of these coniferous and hardwoods. And this kind of continues on. It's not, you can see it's not as hinge cut as much down through there, but that's getting towards the property boundary over there. I'll show you where we are right now on the map. So this is just exiting. This is this coniferous edge right here where I was telling you I did some hinge cutting in here, and then this 2-track trail kind of comes out of the side of the food plot and goes all the way along here, and the property boundary is right over this way. So we're kind of somewhere right around in here with the property boundary just up ahead. And this is this slope, hardwood slope. So when I look up here and show you this edge, the rise here, that whole rise is basically this clear hardwood section here. This is all the hill, and this is up top, and this is up in here where I tried to make some bedding areas up in here where there's a few hardwoods up in this area. Okay. Now we're just up here at the top of the destination food plot, right up in here. I need something to point with. And so there's a trail that goes up out of here. We're just going to walk it straight up till we get into this kind of open woods up in here. So there's a rise in elevation, and then this goes across the whole property. This rise like this. It basically steps up, so that's like over that way where I did that hinge cutting along kind of that bank a little bit over that way. It's to the west. And then this is to the east. You can see the rise here. Lots of limestone. Not something that I'd want to be running along on as far as your ankles go, but so you'll see that I'm just going to poke through kind of a few coniferous here. And this trail right here to my right, this kind of follows a bit of a, coniferous on the right, hardwood on the left transition line up through there that I can point out. And this goes over to another box blind that was built by the people that own the property before me. We will, I'm going to just walk up this trail a little bit first. Okay, so I'll show you that trail I was telling you about that we're on right now. It basically runs up all the way through here. You can just see it, and toward the back of the property. And this is actually the back of the property, right along here. But it kind of follows this, coniferous. The dark green is the coniferous because it's a winter photograph, and the light is basically all the hardwoods with no leaves. So that's where this is. So my son is right at the top of that rise from where the destination food plot is, right back there. And I just walked forward a little bit, and then this is just following along this trail, and you get an idea what the bush looks like. I know you're going to be scared to death what this looks like over here, because this is the ultimate park-like wood scenario over here, untouched, which I guess can be good if you don't want deer to be there. And then over on this side of the road, I did a bit of hinge cutting in there. You can see it's thicker, but it's also thicker just because of the nature of the woods with some coniferous trees. But this is kind of up top of that section in through there where I tried to put in some bedding. Again, that's looking to the west, and I can show you where that is from here. So this was that rise, that hardwood rise, where I put a few trails up through here, and then I tried to establish some bedding. And right now we're standing right here looking this way through these few hardwoods, and this is where I had done some hinge cutting. We can't see it from here, but it's that direction anyway. Okay, I'm just gonna keep poking up here so that you can see just what the woods is like walking up here. I'll turn the camera on again in a second. Okay, so where we are now is from this area, comes up to here, and the trail kind of splits off. This keeps going. This is right here is to the right. Well, that's kind of this main trail that goes up, follows up here along these conifers, and then there's one that branches over this way to the left, and where it goes is it branches off and comes up into above here, right around. You can see there's kind of an opening here that I'll show you, and then there's this trail goes into this section right in here. We're gonna go there right now. So this drives up and through here, and I was thinking about trying to put some food in over in here. So I started to knock a few trees down, and I was thinking of trying to make this some kind of a staging area. And I remember listening to Jim Ward say, you know, you want an area at least like 30 yards across, big enough to let sunlight in. So I started knocking some trees down here, and yeah, that's going to create a bit of a circus in here if I don't kind of get to it before all the undergrowth comes up. But I was thinking of trying to put something in here. But you can get an idea what the woods looks like. You know, again, it's pretty open hardwood, pretty heavy canopy. Just gonna kind of walk south. I'm right up in here, out of the destination food. We're gonna walk down here where this has been an opening. There was an old box blind in here, and just to show you what this looks like down in here. So there's a little bit of elevation drop in here as well. Right here, little ridge that drops down here, maybe 8 feet or so overall. You can see it along. That's looking that way, is looking over toward the east. This is a bit of a natural opening in here as well that I considered maybe planting some food. Certainly the soil's not very deep, and you can see the rocks in here. But yeah, this section here goes, it's kind of grown up a little bit here, but the section kind of continues down through here. And this is, like I say, is a bit of a natural clearing. It's starting to grow up with ironwoods and poplars and stuff, but this little area in here, and the destination food plot is just down through there, and there's a, right in front of us here, there's a ridge. This is, again, walking to the south. This is this same main ridge. So the biggest rise here I was telling you about. Ooh, that guy just blew over recently. So this right here is this bluff that steps down into a bit of a cedar swamp there. And where we are right now is we just walked through this spot right here and continue going to the south, and we hit this this thick stuff right here going down this incline. So this is a shot through, again looking to the east. That's through to the south, okay? And we're gonna walk down a section. It's not, you can't see it on Google Earth because it's new since then, but we're basically coming down just around the outside of this thick stuff right here, just over. We're gonna come down. There's it's hard to see this here. That main rise in the bluff goes all the way along here, all the way along, all the way over this way. That's the main drop off along here, and we're just gonna right now walk and just step down in this area where I cut an opening here to put a food plot in. When I cut this area, you know, I did it using some machinery, a little excavator, and you know, lost all my organic matter, just like all the videos I watched since I've done that, and kind of screwed it up. I didn't have a lot of choice because the there was a lot of stumps. So this is coming down this step here, a bit of a walk down through here, and I cut this area open, and this is still got to move stumps away and stuff, but I was going to try to plant something in here. There's you can see the wall of that kind of coniferous section in there. And then further to the north, if I keep walking further to the north right through here, I hit this section that we call Ghost Lake. It's a place that just a couple days ago had 4 feet of water in it, and it just completely disappears to nothing. We'll step that way in a second. So this is just stepping down towards Ghost Lake. There is kind of a trail that goes around the outside of this thick stuff here. Yeah. And there's also a trail. It's basically the same trail that kind of runs along this ridge here, kind of just part way down it, kind of in the middle of it. But I'll just step down here. You can see, just looks like I'll walk down there in a second. So yeah, like 5 days ago, this was, I would have been up to my shins in water, and as I step out here just a little further, I'd be up to my knees and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is this big expanse. That's the road over that way. You can see a car driving over here, and so I'll just step this way so you can see a little bit. Yeah. So this is this big open area here, and we're just right at the back of it, right back in here. Look. So this is just to give you a perspective of walking back up But we just came down just to give you an idea of kind of how steep this rise is here. Can you grab the chainsaw, Joe, out of there? I'm just gonna grab the chainsaw. I'm just gonna cut this tree out of the way. So that's just coming up the hill. And then there's this opening here that I'd cut up in there. And there's another rise from a ridge up in there. Okay, so this is Ghost Lake, is just down there to the north. And we're traveling east along this trail. There's a kind of a bit of a outcropping here. Coming just about to the edge of Ghost Lake down there, just about till the end of it. And this trail here just comes down a little bit of a rise here. So this was a spot that I thought might be a neat place to put a food plot. In here, the tree density is not too high. You'll see there's quite a few oaks through here. They're red oaks. There's the odd white oak, but certainly not as abundant as the red oaks. Some old machinery from, I don't know when, it was just here when I bought the property, but you can see a house roof through here, so it's not too far to the east kind of boundary road there. But anyways, this is kind of a bit of an open, this is at the east side of Ghost Lake in there. I'll show you on the map where this little section is. You can also get an idea from down here of how high the elevation is. This is where it's kind of the steepest, is at this far easterly end, how steep it is up through here. There's an old box pine up on the hill up there. Again, I've never hunted any out of any of these guys. So where we are here is right in here. So this really high rise right here is just to our right, which is right over there. And back down at the map, we're right in this area, right in here, just to the side of Ghost Lake in here, and the road is not too far, straight in front of us here. Okay, we're gonna move kind of in this direction, up in here, to show you kind of what the property progresses like this way, into this thick area up in here where there's some bedding areas up in this coniferous up in here, and it kind of gets a little higher. The steepest rise is right here, and then it gradually kind of climbs a little bit up into here. Okay. So this is just back towards Ghost Lake. We're just a little further along that trail. The road is right up here. You can see this building, just to give you an idea of what the bush is like. And through here, a little higher stem count in some of these areas, but back through here again, pretty wide open. You can see, 200 yards through that high rise in there. So this is Big Lake over this way. This is looking for more to the east. This is Big Lake Dam Road that comes in, and we've just kind of come up that rise, so that we're just going to poke into the bush here and go along basically the top of this ridge. So as you come up here, the main rise is just over here to my right. You can't quite see it, it's almost out of sight, too far. And then it comes up the hill, and then you come to another little bit of a rise right here. It steps up on a bit of a point. You can kind of see some thicker woods in through here where I had started doing some hinge cutting through there, but again, not the most, not a planned out, just kind of shooting in the dark. But anyway, let's, I'm just going to step up onto this little bit of a ridge here. And you can see that the trees are not as big, the soil depth would be shallower, okay? Lots of birch. And this goes back into kind of some thicker coniferous that you can see on the map. That's good bedding area. So right now, we would be, this is the really steep rise here. And then as you come up here, there's another little bit of a rise right along in here. Can't really see, and I just stepped up on top of that, and you can see there's a few more coniferous, and it's kind of sparse, some hardwood. But as you get further back, you get into this area back in here where it's a little better bedding. And we're going to approach that from just a little different angle. We'll go back in here, I'll let you know. But again, that's what it looks like, looking kind of to the southwest. Now where we are, it's hard to see, but there's a change in the shading right on this corner, and that's the corner of my property. And right now where we are right in this area, and I'm looking in towards this thicker coniferous, and I'm just going to walk in this way just to give you an idea of what that country's like. Okay, so I'm walking to the kind of to the northwest right now. Okay. So you can see I'm just going through open hardwoods here. Shallow soil because you can see the cracks in the rock down here where it's just fissured limestone. But you can see as you get in, you know, your sight lines are basically now I've got another 20 yards, and then you can see there's a little bit of a rise here. And as you get up in here, you know, this is, so I'm at the edge now of this coniferous kind of thick stuff, and I've been up in here before and found beds up in through here. So yeah, this is kind of what this whole area on the map that looks like that's kind of coniferous up in the middle of my property. This is what it looks like through here. That looks like a bit of a bed right there in the flat spot. But yeah, so this is I've walked up and through here and found deer herring spots. So yeah, again, looking kind of to the northwest. That's what it looks like. Moving back this way, if I walk out of there, out of here now, pretty much to the south, you're going to see that the sight lines open up quite a bit as I step out of here into more, there's no coniferous, and it's just kind of open hardwoods out in through here. A few coniferous still over this way. Yeah. There's Jonah on the four-wheeler way over there, and it's, you know, that'd be 80 yards through the bush, you can see right now with no leaves, so that's how open it is. Major run up in here into the bedding area. Unfortunately, they're coming out of here, and this is a shot of where we are on Google Maps. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, they come out of here, and the guy that's to the south of me, he did a bunch of timbering over in here, and so there's a lot of hardwood regeneration up in through here. And this that fluorescent marker straight through there, that's the south end of my property. And yeah, this, you can see where I'm walking through right here is pretty open. And I'll just so you can see what I'm up against, because I didn't realize the benefit of hardwood regeneration as far as feeding deer for the longest time. And when these guys cut their property, definitely the number of deer on my property went down, and you can see how much thicker it is. So this is how I'm standing on the property line right now, and you can see how much thicker it is in here on this guy's property. I'll walk a little bit of ways in here. You can see canopy isn't as thick, and the stem count is just way higher, so way more comfortable for the deer over there than over on my side, which is in here. So these are the issues that I'd like to address. Of course, I don't want to just cut everything down, because I want to have some no-go areas for the deer as well, just so I have some access into some hunting places. So this is why I kind of want to get some consulting on the issue. Okay, so where we are right now, where I just walked towards the neighbors, is right around here, and we're walking this. You can see the line right here on the map. Well, I don't know if you can, maybe not. Right along here on the map, wind keeps blowing this thing up, and so it's just a little short walk to the property line. But that's the difference of how much thicker it is on here than it is on mine. Okay, so hopefully you can get this food plot over here, pulling the deer out of this thick bedding stuff up in here, or creating some food down here, maybe to pull them this way. Okay. So this is back close to the southwest corner of my middle 100-acre piece. And this is looking in, this is kind of looking northeast into where that thicker coniferous stuff is, and it's in there a ways. You can see there's a lot of oak trees in here, and again, it's pretty wide open, thick canopy hardwoods. Just a little further to this edge, we're getting to the edge of this coniferous area here. You see as we move into this. Yeah, so we're kind of into this coniferous section here. We are, right now we're on that main trail that runs down into the destination food plot that runs between kind of a hardwood area and the coniferous. So hardwood's on the right, which is to the east, conifers on the left. the hardwoods again over on this side. And then on this side is the transition into these conifers. Coming down to the spot where I turned off before, where I went in, where I said I wanted to set up a bit of a staging area. You can kind of see those hinge cut trees in there that we were looking at before. And there's where that box blind is, where there's that bit of a clearing. So that's looking over to the, it's looking kind of east southeast. And this is back to that section where I said I was doing some hinge cutting to make a bedding area. And we're looking west now. Yeah. Heading mostly north, and then this is the transition down into thick conifer in here. I did some hinge cutting. Over in here, a bunch of hinge cutting to try to thicken up this area. One more place I want to show you. We just came through the destination food plot. I turned the camera off right down here and we circled out and through here, and there's a little road that goes along this thick stuff right in here. And we're right about here right now, and you can kind of see in this spot there's a few kind of clearings in here. And I thought I should maybe try to open that up a little bit to put some food in, and maybe try to connect this food plot in through here to this food, over to this guy, and then up into this other clearing over in here, and try to get some kind of some circular motion in here. I'm just going to step in through here, walking north, show you what this looks like in here. You want to come with me, Joe, or do you want to stay here? Okay. Yeah, the black flies are bad right now, so it's better to be moving than standing still. Okay. So yeah, this is pretty thick in here, but there's kind of a bit of a neat spot in here. You'll see it's not too far in here. And it's basically right in here. And it's kind of an open, grassy section right in the middle of this thick stuff. See a lot of moss growing, so you know it's wet in here mostly. But if I tip some of these trees out to let some sunlight in, you know, I'm going to come to the furthest westerly section of this, and it's not, I bet you it's, I could look on the map, but it's not too many yards through. So this is this is kind of the end of this section here, but it doesn't really have to be, because I could clear a few trees out in here and, you know, put a food plot trail type of thing in through here. Yeah, these are the deer tracks. And as you come through here, this is kind of, there's often a lot of sign in through here. There's a lot of deer tracks here right now. And this comes into a bit of an area which just seems like an ideal staging area down in here. And this is now looking, that main destination food plot is right on the other side of all this thick stuff. I think it's 50 yards that way. This is where when we were coming through the destination food plot, and I looked to the right, so I hinge cut a bunch of stuff. This is the back side of those hinge cuts. So it's thick from here right through, impenetrable. You can put some trails through there, but nothing's going through there. But I thought you could open this up a little bit as far as making a bit of staging area, let some light in and plant some food in here. Okay, so I'm gonna make my way back through and just show you this line one more time. So we're going back now, walking kind of east. There's this bit of a trail, and there's a little bit of soil in here. We're in lower ground down here, so there's a bit more soil than up top. You can see here it widens out a little bit where it's kind of open, where it would be easy to work up the ground. And then you kind of come into this more open area, which you can see on the map. There's a pretty heavy deer trail through here, and I have a feeling they're going up back into bed, and they're going to eat on the ag fields to the north up in there. So moving this way, I apologize for the video all over the place. Certainly not a videographer. And then this kind of low area extends down and through here, but I'm thinking, you know, you could plant some food. It's low right here, but you could tip these trees out of the way, and I think there's enough dirt in here. You could get the pH sorted out and right to here, and then it's not too much further from here as you continue walking the same direction where it gets light in through there. That's right where I would clear cut that area to put in another food plot, so it kind of connects to both of them. And as you move to the south, back out this way, sorry, to the north, to the north, back out towards Ghost Lake, if you put a stand along in there, you've got pretty good access, because you know, nothing's really coming across this wide open expanse out here of Ghost Lake. And you've got the ridge dropping off right here, so you could access from below the ridge. Just pop up over the ridge and come climb up in a stand in here and get deer kind of moving between the two areas. So another thing I'd like to talk to you about. Okay.